You are able to hear me? We'll chant once in the beginning of the class, every class. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Some of you may not be knowing the shloka, so maybe we can write somewhere. How many of you don't know this shloka and would like to have this? So maybe somewhere we can print it and give it. Huh?
It's there written.
Oh yeah, here. So after the class you can write it. Of course it is in Sanskrit. And this text you have been given is in Sanskrit. So how many of you have difficulty in reading Sanskrit? So some of you would like to have English transliteration?
Yes, sir. With Swara if possible.
Huh?
With Swara if possible.
Swara in English is not there. So here Upanishad except Sahana to no Swara. So no problem. Okay, so we'll get about maybe 10 or 20 copies. We have time, so afternoon we'll try to get. So those who need everyone should take. So that somebody can know. Sometimes somebody is Sanskrit, sometimes English. So if you know Sanskrit, please read Sanskrit.
Is it the English translation or is it
Transliteration.
pronunciation?
Translation I don't give generally. You know why? Generally you will see that every booklet to touch below the mantra there will be translation. I don't give translation. I am like a jealous spouse. I don't because I have seen that when we give translation, you know what happens? When I am teaching the shloka, they are reading the translation. So this place is called what? This place hall is called what? Lecture hall. Lecture hall, what should happen? So instead of that, it become library. It become reading room. So that's why I deliberately avoid putting the translation. Sometimes in the last camp we had in Coimbatore, after the camp was over, we gave the translation. So if some of you need, can ask. We will give you translation. But in the beginning we don't give because your mind goes there. And mind has got this type of approach. Oh, this is the meaning of the mantra. Then but Swami is not telling this meaning. I am coming to that, but you become very impatient. Then what will happen? This first mantra, I know this word, this is what is there. So second mantra, translation. Third mantra, translation. Over. Then you look here and there. How people are attentively listening, who is sleeping. So that investigation starts. For all this purpose, we don't give translation. We were seeing the bondage, which is something I do not want to have, but I find myself with. And that can be presented in various ways. We saw the first one in the form of non-acceptance of oneself, self-non-acceptance, dependence upon the world to be happy, sense of helplessness, and fundamentally speaking, sense of limitation. Sense of limitation cannot go by adding something to myself. Because anything I can add will be the result of some effort. Effort is limited, therefore the result of effort will be limited. And limited plus limited, finite plus finite will be finite only. So I cannot become infinite. And at the same time, I cannot give up this pursuit of being free from this limitation because I have got some glimpse. In the experience of happiness, I get a window to have some glimpse of my limitlessness. I am the whole in that situation. But that experience is not good enough to remove my notion that I am limited. Amai, if she cannot remain, then you please sit outside. Huh? It is understandable. Hmm? You can sit there outside, no problem. So that experience of the wholeness is not good enough to remove my notion that I am limited, but it is good enough to give me the sense of possibility and not leaving this pursuit. It is something in between. If I had complete knowledge because of that experience that I am the whole, then I will not have conclusion that I am limited. But it is not. Experience does not remove your ignorance all the time. See, many of you have this experience that you might have heard there is one Swami Sadatmananda is going to conduct this camp. And some of you have not seen this Swami. And you saw one Swamiji going, coming, is coming, going. But you don't know that there is a Swami. You are experiencing Swami, but still you do not know Swami. Possible or not? Pashyannapi na pashyati. So in Sanskrit we say like this. Seeing still misses. So it is possible. So experience you have of the wholeness, but since the facts related to the experience, the truth of the experience is not understood by you, and therefore you continue to be ignorant about yourself being limitless. So many people are experience oriented. To them we say that you don't have dearth of experience of your wholeness. You have got the necessity of understanding your experience. Vedanta is not meant for giving you new experience. Vedanta is there to reveal the truth of all experiences. And therefore, here you have got the experience of the wholeness, but you do not have understanding of the wholeness. And since understanding has not come, so Mr. Understanding has not come, therefore misunderstanding continues. It happens. So your misunderstanding about yourself, your ignorance about, your non-understanding about yourself continues. But that glimpse gives us the sense of possibility. And therefore this pursuit is not given up. Person continues to seek limitlessness. And when we don't have the right ways, then we resort to wrong ways. And so we try to be limitless by adding so many things and we fail. At this juncture, by the grace of the Lord, in other words, because of some good actions done by you in the past, get fructified in the form of association with someone who gives you this idea of this possibility that maybe you are what you are seeking. But if I am limitless, then why should I seek? Then that person or that Shastra says that many times in our life it happens that something may be there with us, but since we have got ignorance of the fact, therefore we may be missing. A modern example is what? In your hard drive, so many files are there, but you have forgotten. Therefore, if somebody says, do you have it? No, I have. Okay, I will again copy it. And afterwards, I find that 2-3 times it is there. Does it happen or not? This need does happen. So you have what you do not know you have, and therefore you will ask somebody, oh, you have this file, I want to copy. So nowadays people have that big craze, that everything we should have. A hard drive is not very expensive. So in one hard drive, you can have Swami Chinmayanandi, Swami Dayanandi, Swami Paramarthanandi, Swami Tattvavidanandi, so many Swamis will be there. And all Swamis you carry in your pocket. But this modern time, anyway, it has got advantages and disadvantages. We will talk about it sometime later if it happens. So idea is that there is a possibility, and that because of grace of the Lord, somebody draws our attention and says that ignorance, because of ignorance, you are missing what you are. And when ignorance is the cause for the problem, knowledge is the solution. The knowledge is by means of knowledge only. And means of knowledge in Shastra, it is called pramanam. Some of you may not be knowing the word, it is called pramanam. Pranama, this is pranama. Okay? Some people get confused. This is called pranama. And what I am talking now is pramana. Okay? Pramana means means of knowledge. Prama means knowledge. Pramana means means of knowledge. My eyes, ears, etc. can be considered to be pramana. Inference can be considered pramana. Shabda, the words also can become pramana. But generally they give indirect knowledge. When you hear the description or you read the description, then you get indirect knowledge. Like the travel tour operators, they will have one booklet, Then in that there will be beautiful description will be there of that place. So you get the knowledge, but your knowledge is what? Indirect knowledge. The beautiful flowers, you don't get the fragrance of the flowers. The description is very beautiful. There is a valley of flowers. So nice description is given. But you don't get the experience of that. So indirect knowledge. But there are some situations when you get direct knowledge. Like, as I gave the example of this Swami, you were seeing that Swami, but you did not know that this Swami is Sadatmananda. Then somebody tells you, this Swami is Sadatmananda. Oh, yes. Doesn't look like, some people have difficulty. He looks like a child, small. Now, okay, a little bit white beard, but when I went to Bangalore for taking classes, I was about maybe 32 or something. So, our neighbors used to say, Swamiji, when you came, you were looking like a school boy, not even college boy. So, people may have difficulty, but introduced. This is Swami Sadatmananda. Now, these words have given you the knowledge. Is it direct or indirect?
It is a word.
Direct or indirect? Direct. You are seeing this fellow. Fellow, we don't say Swami. So, this is Swami Sadatmananda. This knowledge you got is what? Direct. So words can give you direct knowledge if the object happens to be direct. This status or the type of knowledge through words is decided also by the object of knowledge, the type of object of knowledge. If the object is indirect, remote, indirect knowledge. If object is in front of you, direct knowledge. Therefore, the words can give direct knowledge. In Sanskrit, direct knowledge is called pratyaksha jnana. Indirect knowledge is called paroksha jnana. Paroksha means indirect. Pratyaksha, direct. But we have one particular peculiar situation where we will have difficulty in categorizing that knowledge. And to explain that, we give this example of the 10th man. 10th man story, how many of you have not heard? Everybody has heard. I will tell. Those who have not heard, for them I will tell. I will look here. The 10th man story is very simple. There were 10 disciples of one Swami Paramananda. So Paramananda Shishya, this is how we should say. So Paramananda Shishya, 10 boys were there, and there was holiday in Rishikesh, and they have holiday on in the Chaturdashi, means the 14th day of the what is called Paksha, fortnight. 14th day, 15th day, first day, all this called Pratipada, Amavasya, 3 days holiday. So they wanted to go on trip, and they asked Guruji, can we go? Guruji said, okay. Guruji means the teacher. Teacher said, okay. But remember, how many of you are there? 10 are there. Somebody should take responsibility. Who will take? Some people are very enthusiastic. So one person took responsibility. And he says, you are 10. When you come back, you should be 10. Okay, yes. Yes, Guruji, 10 is 10. Then they went to the trip, and on the way there was a river, and they crossed the river, and then they reached the other side, and they wanted to be sure that all of them have reached. Started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and counter missed himself, and therefore 9 only. So they thought 10th one is Dashamo Nashtaha. The 10th one is gone. See, they are really Paramananda Shishya. They did not think that let us know who has gone. Say Ramesh is there, Mangal is there, Tinku is there. So who is missing? They should have commented. They did not think. That's why we have story. If they have thought, then we will not have a story. So they counted only 9. Somebody else counted. He also was a Paramananda Shishya, so he also counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Then what? Balasya Rudaram Balam. So they started crying. So then somebody was passing by. He came and asked, what is the problem? He said, we were 10 and now we are 9. Immediately that person found out the problem. And he could have simply said, but he wanted to do some drama, and therefore he said, I will get you the 10th man. Is 10th man there? He said, Dashamaha Asti. The 10th one is there. Where is he? He said, first you form a queue, stand in queue, and start counting. That fellow said, please, sir, you have counted 100 times. So why are you counting? You want 10th man or not? If you want 10th man, you do what I say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the leader asks, where is the 10th man? You are the 10th. Now, the person who was told, you are the 10th one, you are the 10th. This is the pramanam in the form of words. The words of the person, you are the 10th, got him the knowledge. What? I am the 10th. So here, Shabda is a pramanam. Words are the means of knowledge. The knowledge is what? I am the 10th one. Now, I am the 10th one. Can this knowledge be called paroksha? Indirect? Is it indirect knowledge? Is it direct knowledge like I see the clip? No. So this cannot be called indirect knowledge, paroksha jnanam, nor it is direct knowledge like ghata pata. This ghata means pot, pata means cloth. So you will hear this word from me, ghata pata. So ghata pata, rhyming is there, therefore it's a ghata pata. So it's not like ghata pata jnanam. It is not pratyaksha jnanam. Neither paroksha jnanam nor pratyaksha jnanam. But there is jnanam. And that type of jnanam is called aparoksha jnanam. Aparoksha means it is not remote, but it is not direct, like we see the objects in front of us. Such knowledge where I am the subject matter is called aparoksha jnana. In English we call it immediate knowledge. There is no mediation of anything else between me and the object of knowledge. Mediation is not there, therefore that knowledge is called immediate knowledge. In Sanskrit we call it aparoksha jnana. So words can give indirect knowledge, words can give direct knowledge, and words can give immediate knowledge as well. And here, in our case, we require what type of knowledge? Immediate knowledge. Immediate doesn't mean fast, that I know immediate knowledge from it. Like Zomato, fast order, no? So like that, it's not immediate knowledge. Immediate means there is no mediation of anything between me and the object of knowledge. I myself form the subject matter of knowledge. That type of knowledge is called aparoksha jnana. Atma Vishayaka Jnanam, the knowledge regarding the self, relative self or absolute self, that is called aparoksha jnana. And for aparoksha jnanam, words alone are pramana. Words alone are the means of knowledge. Now question is, whose words can become the means of knowledge? Words of only that person who has got the knowledge of the self alone can become the means of knowledge. A person knows the subject matter, then his or her words can become the means of knowledge. If he himself doesn't know, then his words do not become the means of knowledge. So, the words of the person who has got the knowledge alone can become the pramanam, the means of knowledge. And the person who knows the self which I want to know, the person who knows that self is called Guru in our tradition. The person who knows the self and whose words can become the means for knowing the self is called Guru in the context of self-knowledge. Otherwise, in India, they use the word Guru for anything. In auto rickshaw, you are there and you want to ask the address. Hey Guru, tell me where is this Gandhi road? So they use very loosely. But in our context, Guru means the person who knows the self, the true nature of the self, and his words can get me the knowledge of the self. That person is called Guru. So how can I get the knowledge of the self? By the words of Guru. But now question would be, okay, I get the knowledge of the self which I want to know to discover freedom. I get the knowledge from the words of Guru, but how did Guru get the knowledge? He also must have the same problem which I had. See, I could not use the perception for knowing the self. I could not use inference for knowing the self. So the problem I have, he or she must have the same problem. How did he or she get the knowledge? From his Guru. His Guru, her Guru. Guru can be she also, he also. There is no gender. Knowledge can be there in anyone. So, his Guru, her Guru was the source for knowledge. Now, crucial question will be, who is the first Guru? Like you are a son or daughter. You have parents. But your parents had parents or not? Your parents also were son and daughter of some parents. They also were the son or daughter of some parents. Who is the first father or first mother? Our provisional answer is whoever is the first father or first mother is the first teacher as well. Whoever is the first father or first mother, first father means what? Who is the father of all but not the son of anyone. That is called first father. The first father is the first teacher. Now we will ask somebody who is the first father. We say Sadashiva, Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu. Ishvara is the first father. Just provisionally we are going to understand so much about Ishvara, but you have some idea of Ishvara. So whatever you consider Ishvara, that Ishvara is the first father and is the first teacher. So Gurunam api Guru, Yoga Sutra they say Gurunam api Guru. So he is or she is first. In fact, Ishvara does not have gender. For your information, Ishvara is neither male nor female. It is genderless. But since the word God, in fact, or Ishvara is masculine gender grammatically, therefore we are using the word he. Alright. So, Ishvara is the first teacher. And he gave the knowledge and it was passed on to the subsequent teachers who were the students. That is why we chant this shloka, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. What is the meaning? Vande means I salute. Guru Parampara means the lineage of teachers. I salute the lineage of teachers, which is Sada Shiva Samarambham. Or if you are Vaishnava, you can say Narayana Samarambha. 4 letter words we need, that's all. Because the meter requires 4 letters. So either you say Sadashiva Samarambham or Narayana Samarambham. We don't have problem. The Lord, who can be referred to by the word Sadashiva or Narayana. Sadashiva is another name for Dakshinamurti. Lord Shiva, when looked upon as a teacher, he is called Dakshinamurti or Sadashiva. Sadashiva literally means ever auspicious. Shiva means auspicious, Sada means always, ever. So Sadashiva means ever auspicious Lord. So this lineage of teachers starts with the Lord, and in between there are brilliant teachers, Shankaracharya Madhyamam. This lineage of teachers have got so many bright links and all of them are represented by Shankaracharya. So Madhyamam is in the middle. This Guru Parampara, the lineage of teachers have got Shankaracharya ji in the middle. And what is the last link to that lineage of teachers? Asmadacharya. My teacher is the last link. So I offer my salutation to the lineage of which begins with the Lord, having Shankaracharya ji in middle and ending with my teacher. Thus, the knowledge of the self is finally coming from the Lord. And the teaching given by the Lord is called Vedas. You must have heard the word Vedas. Vedas is the body of knowledge given by the Lord. In our tradition, we do not look upon Vedas as authored by some individuals. Very difficult for many people to digest. Vedas are not authored by any human beings. Therefore, they are called Apaurushaya. Paurushaya means created by Purusha, human beings. Apaurushaya means not created by human beings. Then how did it come to us? Is Bhagavan talking to us on some cell phone or something? No. This Vedas were released like broadcast. It was released in the beginning of creation and they were received by some people who had got extraordinary purity, and those people are called rishis. Rishi, our name Rishikesh is there, no? Rishi. But of course, this Rishikesh is not a original name. Original name of this the city is, town is Rishikesha. Now people say Rishikesha, R-I-S-H-I, you write. But it is not Rishikesha. And people give the meaning Rishikesha. Rishi means, Rishi is, sages. Kesha means hair. So, the town of the hair of Rishis. That is not the meaning. Anyway, but Rishi means, in Shastra we define Rishi as Mantra Drashtaraha Rishayaha. So who are Rishis? In English we give the translation as seers. Those who are seeing the mantra, not composing the mantras. So we got this Veda mantras through the Rishis. Those who receive the Veda mantras which were already available in the atmosphere, in the sky, and they had that purity to receive it, and those people we are called Rishis. So we have received these mantras of the Vedas, the content of Vedas through Rishis. That is why this knowledge is called Arsha, Arsha Vidya. This knowledge is called Arsha Vidya because it is coming from the Rishis. It is received through the Rishis. So Rishis are not the authors of Vedas, they are the receivers of Vedas. Like you have got radio set, receiver set it is called. Radio, that device, it does not create music. It just receives and broadcasts. So Rishis were like that radio set. They did not create these mantras. They just received and broadcast. And these Rishis were not one. In other religion also they say something similar to that this particular messenger received and that is the text. But there is only one person. Whereas we have got hundreds of them. We have hundreds of Rishis and female also. They are called Rishika. For your information, they are called Rishika. The male is called Rishi, female is called Rishika, Lopa, Mudra, Paulo, me. They are, Gargi is not there. So, Gargi is not Rishika. So, Paulo, me, Lopa, Mudra, Romasha, these are the Rishikas. So, they received the mantras. And all the body of the Vedas, the entire body of Vedas is divided into 4 parts. And they are called 4 Vedas. This particular division, formal division was made by Veda Vyasa. Have you heard the name Veda Vyasa? Veda Vyasa, his name was Vyasa. And he was called Veda Vyasa because he compiled the Vedas which were spread throughout the countries. He compiled all of them. So he is not the author of Vedas. He is the compiler of Vedas. Like some people are doing this work nowadays, that folk music, folk songs are there spread all over the state. Somebody collects. He has not composed those songs. He has compiled them. So Veda Vyasa, with the help of his 4 disciples, Kaila, Veshampayana, Jaimini, Sumantu, with the help of these 4 disciples, he compiled the Vedas. So many people they think that who has written Vedas? Veda Vyasa. The options are given, no? Veda Vyasa, then Krishna, Rama, none. So what is the correct answer? None. 1 mark. So Veda Vyasa is not the author of Vedas. All these things are little difficult for some people who have got a particular way of thinking. They will have a lot of difficulty in digesting this. And this is coming from Bhagavan and all this is very mystical. Yes, whatever it is, may look mystical, but that is how the fact is. And these four Vedas are named as Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, or Atharvana Veda. And each Vedas will have so many branches. Sama Veda had 1,000+ branches. The Rig Veda also had so many, I don't remember the number, 50 or some branches were there. Yajur Veda 100+ branches were there. So different number of branches are there for each Veda. And at the end of each branch, there will be one portion called Vedanta. So Vedas, all the four Vedas, if we look upon them, all of them together, and again we classify them, the entire body of Vedas from another angle, then Vedas are classified into two based on the subject matter. That other classification, four Vedas classification, is based on the type of mantras and the Rishi. Rig Veda is that which is containing Rig mantras. Yajur Veda is that which contains Yajur mantras. Sama Veda is that which contains Sama mantras. Atharva Veda, don't say Atharva mantras. Atharva Veda is that which is containing the mantras seen by the Atharva Rishi. So this is one way of classifying Vedas. Another way of classifying Vedas is Veda Purva Bhaga and Vedanta. Two parts of Vedas are there from the standpoint of content. Veda Purva Bhaga means the first part of the Vedas, and second is Vedanta, the last part or the end portion of Vedas. The end of Vedas is for Vedanta. And Veda Purva Bhaga is otherwise called Karma Kanda, which deals with certain rituals and meditations. The last portion of Vedas is called Vedanta, which is otherwise called Jnana Kanda, dealing with the knowledge of the truth. The knowledge of the truth of the individual, world and the Lord. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Tattva, Jnanam. That is the subject matter of the last part of the Vedas called Vedanta. And this Vedanta, which is dealing with the knowledge of truth or knowledge of self, is otherwise called Upanishad. So Vedanta is otherwise called Upanishad. So don't say, Swamiji, I studied Vedanta, but Upanishad I have not studied. Or Swamiji, Upanishad I studied. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Munda, Mandukya, Tintiriya, Itiriya, Chandakya, all I studied. But Vedanta text I never studied. Then Upanishad also we did not study. So Vedanta is otherwise called Upanishad. There is a beautiful statement in a text called Vedanta Sara, which opens up with this statement, Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramana. So Vedanta is called Upanishad. And this word Upanishad has got two meanings. One meaning is equal to Vedanta, and another meaning, which is the primary meaning, is the knowledge itself. The knowledge of limitless reality called Brahma is called Upanishad. So Upanishad means Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of limitless reality. And how do we get this meaning? From the constituents of the word. Upa. Upa means near, proximate. It is the knowledge of limitless as the self. So it is the knowledge about the self being limitless. Therefore, it is upa. Upa means near, proximate. And what is the most proximate? Myself. Therefore, Upanishad is the knowledge dealing with upa, self. And this knowledge will be effective when it is well ascertained. Ni, that is conveyed by the word ni. Nishchaya jnanam, well ascertained knowledge. So, well ascertained knowledge of the self is referred to by the word upa and ni. And when you have got well ascertained knowledge of the self, then what does it do? That is said by the last part, shad. Shad means it destroys the bondage along with its root. And therefore it's called shad. Shad means destroyer. And also it conveys the idea. It gets you what you are seeking in your life. What you are seeking in your life? Limitlessness. That limitlessness is attained or owned up by which knowledge is called shad. So shad word conveys the idea that it destroys what you don't want and it gets you what you want. And all three put together is Upanishad. So Upanishad means well ascertained knowledge of the self, real self, limitless self, which destroys the bondage along with its root and gets you what you are seeking in your life. So this is the meaning, primary meaning of the word Upanishad. And Upanishad primary meaning is knowledge, but secondary meaning is the text which is giving this knowledge. So knowledge in Sanskrit is called Prama. So Upanishad as Prama refers to Brahma Vidya. But same word Upanishad refers to the means of knowledge, which is in the form of text, the words, that also is called Upanishad. So the word Upanishad has got two meanings. Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of limitless Brahman as the self, and Upanishad also means the means of that knowledge, the means of the knowledge of limitless self. So Pramana Bhutam Upanishad, Pramana Bhuta Upanishad and Prama Bhuta. Bhuta means in the form of. Upanishad is in the form of knowledge, Upanishad in the form of means of knowledge. So the text which we are going to study, the text is called Upanishad and the knowledge received from the text is also called Upanishad. Is it clear? Knowledge is called Upanishad and the text from which, the text with the help of which we receive the knowledge, that also is called Upanishad. And when we are taking the word Upanishad in the secondary sense as the means of knowledge, then we equate it to Vedanta. So Vedanta is Upanishad, which is what? Pramanam, the means of knowledge. So Vedanta means the end portion of Vedas, the body of knowledge, which is Upanishad, which is the means of knowledge. More details we'll see in the next class. Two announcements are there. Please don't change your seats. So whatever seat Bhagavan has given you, so you please take it as a prasada. And if you are coughing, please wear mask. Because other people will be concerned. COVID, the COVID will come. So people will be afraid of that. So you will not be spreading, but people may have concern. So we respect their concern. So wear mask. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.